Hey y'all, it's Yvette and I am about to put together clue 3 from a Tree of Life, which is, my colorway is Green Meadow. It's this guy here, and I am putting together the large quilt, so you will see me putting that together today. Tiny little disclaimer, you may notice that I have no makeup on, no jewelry on. Y'all know me. If nothing else, I share everything that I'm doing. And right now, I am currently trying a self-tanner for the first time. And so one of the rules was you, first they give you this exfoliant, you do the exfoliant in the shower, you come out, you put your self-tanner on, you let yourself dry for like 10-15 minutes or whatever, and then you're supposed to wear like as little as possible and very loose things. So you'll see I've got a very loose shirt on. They want dark color, you know, that kind of thing, so that you don't get any stains. And anyway, we're gonna see how I look. I have a feeling that I should probably just go and do the spray tan somewhere, because I'm in the middle of doing it and I thought, wow, I'm gonna have like this big old area in my back which I can't reach, I can't get to. So anyways, I can only imagine how I'm gonna look, but it's an experiment. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm having a great time at life right now, so we will see how that comes out. And anyway, so I'm gonna get started on clue number 3, and I hope that you will enjoy sewing along with me. So let's get going. Okay, so you will see that I have all of my stuff ready to go. And this is my entire setup. So I do have lots of stuff that you may be seeing. Hopefully you're not seeing everything. I try to clear out the area so you're seeing just the pertinent things. And just kind of, oh, you know what I did forget? My fabric, which might be helpful. All right, so let me grab that. Okay, so here's my packet of clue number 3 fabric. So I am going to, I'm trying to, okay, so I showed you guys this. This is the little, like, what I like to call my little cheat sheet, so that I know which fabric is which, and I know which ones I'm going to use. And it's great because all of the patterns will say, you know, it just says fabric A, fabric B, fabric C. And then that way, no matter which colorway you have, you'll be able to select the correct fabric. So I'm going to put this over here so that it's within view. I'm going to open up my fabric. And the first thing I'm going to do is check against the list from clue number 3 to make sure I have all the fabric that I'm supposed to have to make these clues. All right, so you'll see that you have a little cheat sheet right here. I know I keep moving everything into a different spot, but you know, I sometimes it takes me a second to get a little bit organized here. Okay, so fabric A, which is this guy, and it looks like I should have 16. It came in 2 little stacks, so I'm gonna make sure that I have 16 of these. And I will kind of, every single time I do it a different way. Whichever way you want to do it, as long as you are counting them and getting the correct number, it really doesn't matter how you do it. Find the way that is best for you. I do try to handle the fabric as little as possible to reduce any kind of fraying or anything like that. That's just what I do. I have had that question before, so I just wanted to make that clear. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. So I have all of them. Now I'm just going to turn them so they're all facing right, the pretty side up. That's how I do mine. And then I try to keep like a little stack going sort of in this order so that I can see everything exactly as it's laid out right here. So I'm just set this over here. I know you can't see it, but I've got it over there. And then fabric C is this one. And I need 6 of these. So I have 1, 2, oops, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I will lay those together, stick them over here. And then I need fabric D, which for me is this one. I need 6 of these as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, perfect. And now I am going to find my B fabric in a little bit larger of a triangle. And that will be this right here. I need 2 of these. And I do have 2. So I'll set this over here. And then I need my C fabric. And that's this one. I need 2 of these. And I have 2. I need my D fabric, which is this one, and I need 4 of those. So I've got 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then I need my F fabric, which is this one, and I need 2 of those. I have 2. I need A squares, which is this one. I need 2 of those. I have 2. I'm going to do the A rectangle, which is this one, and I do have 2, which is what I need. This is my D fabric. I need 2 of these, which I do have. And 2 of the D rectangles, which I do have. Okay. So now I have all of the fabrics I'm supposed to have. I am ready to start sewing Clue 3. All right. So what I'm going to do is I am just going to go step by step. I have sort of read through these, so I have them sort of fresh in my mind, but I still want to make sure that I just do one step at a time, just to make sure that I'm getting everything done in order, which is can make it very makes it a lot simpler if you do it one step at a time and try not to think about what's coming up, because if you just go step by step, that pretty much will solve any problems that you have, right, if you have any. So first thing I want is my B fabrics in the larger triangle, which are these. I'm going to make 2 of these, and I have 2 pieces, so I'm going to put those there. I am going to sew a small A triangle to the top of either side of this to make flying geese. So I'm going to take my A fabrics, which are these, and I'm going to take 2 for either side. So I've got 2 there and 2 there. Okay, make sure I only got 2 here because yeah, okay. So now typically what I do, and honestly this is just whatever you would like to do, you can do it either way first, but you want to make sure that you do one side, do your pressing, and then do the other side, and that's what makes the flying geese. So I'm going to I usually start on the right, so I'm going to put these together, right sides together, and probably going to put my glasses on just because, oh, you guys, getting to that age. Where'd my glasses go? See, that's the age I'm at too. Where'd my glasses go? Don't even know where they are. Okay. And now I'm going to come over. I like to sew with a 2 millimeter length, especially with whenever I'm doing piecing. The default on my machine is 2.5, but I like it to be just a little bit tighter. So I go to a 2.0, and it is completely up to you. I don't think that 2.5 is bad. It just makes me feel a little bit better to have a 2.0. So that's what I do. And then you just want to sew a scant 1/4 inch seam. I don't know who on earth came up with this scant business. And listen, it's just my opinion, but I just do the best I can. My piecing, I've been sewing for a long time, y'all. And my piecing, I always end up with smaller blocks than I'm supposed to. Not hugely, but it'll be off by like 1/8 of an inch or something like that. I have gotten to a point where I just don't worry about it. Now, yes, I'm a perfectionist. I have always been a perfectionist, but I have become a little bit lax about that over the years, mainly because when I go and I put together, and I've made quite a few cotton cuts, puzzle mystery quilts. When I go to put my quilt together, regardless of whether my block is a little bit smaller than it's supposed to or anything like that, my quilt always comes together beautifully. And I am very happy with the end results that I get, so I don't worry about it. If you worry about that, then you will notice that at the end of each section, it'll tell you this should measure X by X, right? You will also notice I never measure mine. I don't. I press them, I set them aside, and when I come back to put them together, they always come together beautifully. So either way, measure, don't measure, as long as if you're consistent in how you are putting together your seam allowances, you should be just fine. Okay, that's just my opinion. So here we go. I'm going to get started. And actually, you know what? I would rather have an open toe foot. Where is my open toe foot? And I actually don't have my, I might put my, in fact, I think I will. Let me go ahead and put my dual feed digital foot on. I had taken it off for a project that I was working on. And I'm going to put it back on because I really like it. If you have it, you can definitely use it. Basically, a digital dual feed foot is sort of like having a walking foot on, but you can leave it on all the time, and basically you'll get that dual feed. So it's like having feed dogs on the top and the bottom. And I really like that. So just tighten this up just a tiny bit. Anytime you're tightening this stuff, you guys don't have to go all, you know, like high torque or anything. You just want to make sure it's not going to fall off. Okay, and then this, my open toe foot is my favorite of all times, no matter what I'm sewing. So unless I have to put a zipper foot on or something else, I typically keep my open toe foot on. I like seeing exactly where my needle is going down, and that's my preference. Okay, so here I go. I'm going to take a back stitch just to enforce that or reinforce that. Okay, let's take a, oh, my foot's all the way under the thing. Okay, here we go. All right, and then I'm just going to sew it all the way down. And then I'm going to do the other one in a chain. I'm just going to chain piece it. And also, you know, like I said, I have made lots of puzzle mystery quilts. So I kind of know how their measurements are. If you continue to do them, you will start to get a feeling of how it will go through your machine, and it'll be much better. Okay. I keep forgetting to put my stiletto on my stand. As you can see, I've been obviously doing some FPP because I've got my add a quarter ruler there. I love FPP. It's my favorite. That's foundation paper piecing if you are not familiar with the terminology. And now I am going to read the instructions because it will tell me, there will have some little arrows pointing toward A. That means that they want us to press the seam toward A. In order to press toward A, if you put your A fabric on top, then when you fold it back, you are pressing toward A. So let me do that real quick. So here's the first side. Now you'll see I get very flat seams. I use Acorn Precision Piecing solution, and if you use that on your seams, they will be flat as a pancake, and not only that, they stay flat as a pancake until you actually use those blocks to put them together, which is why I seriously buy it in bulk, because it is amazeballs. Anything that I use, I will link in the description box below. Obviously, you are not required to purchase any of these things. I just like to pass along what I do just in case you're interested, and totally up to you. So now I'm going to take the other side. I'm going to fold it right sides together, and now I'm going to sew down the other side. So here we go. Okay, now I'm going to, again, like it said, press toward A. So I'm going to have my A fabric to the top. And when I fold over, I will be pressing toward A. Okay, so I have these 2 flying geese. I'm going to set them aside for just a moment. And according to my instructions, I am now going to take the large C triangle, which is this one right here. This is my C fabric. And I'm going to take 2 small D triangles, which this is my D fabric. So I'm going to take 2 for either side. And now I am going to sew these in the exact same way that I did on the first 2 flying geese. So here we go. I know sometimes I remember to do the back stitch on the end and sometimes I don't. It's, you know, probably more times than not, I forget. So far, none of my quilts or quilt blocks have fallen apart, so I don't worry about it too much, but I do try to remember. Sometimes when you have little corners like that, they'll get sucked down into the feed dogs a little. So I will just use my stiletto to lift it up and out, and it always is fine for me. Okay. And now the instructions say that they want us to press toward D, which are the small fabrics. So I will put my D fabric on top, and when I fold over to press, I will be pressing toward D. Okay, so now I am going to sew the other side of the flying geese. Flying goose. Flying geese, flying goose, I don't know. Whatever we want to call it, right? Again, I'm going to keep my D square triangle to the top. When I fold over, I'm pressing toward D. Okay, so now I've got both of these flying geese. And now I'm going to want to join 1.2 to the top of 1.1 and make 2. Okay, so basically I'm going to be taking this one and putting it on top of that one. And so I'm just going to take it, fold it right sides together. Just make sure it's all lined up. And then I'm going to sew 1/4 inch seam across here. Keep going, buddy. You got it. Jellybean. Keep going, buddy. It's okay. Keep going. Oh, all right. All right. Go that way. Okay. So now, according to the arrows on the sheet, I want to press toward the flying goose on the bottom. All right. So I'm going to take this side, and I'm going to put that toward the top so that whenever I flip it, I am pressing toward the bottom goose. So here I go. Okay, so now I have that part put together. And I am going to set this aside for just a bit. And I'm going to move on to 2.1. I'm going to sew a small C triangle, and wait, how many am I going to make? I'm going to make 2. So a small C triangle, which is this one, and I'm going to take 2 pieces. 1, 2. C is going to be at the top right, and then I'm going to sew that to 2 small A, which is this. They're going to go down there. And there we go. I'm going to sew those together. So here we go. Jellybean has decided that he's taking a bath right here. Okay, baby, can you scooch over just this way a little bit? Go over here. Oh, that's nice. Okay, go up there. Thank you, buddy. Okay, and it tells us they would like for us to press toward C, which is my dark fabric. So I'm going to put C to the top so that I'm pressing there. Hold on. See, I'm just getting back over here, buddy. I know, see? Okay. Can you scooch over this way, buddy? I know, Mommy keeps moving you around, huh? Okay. So I've got my 2 squares, or half square triangles, as we like to call these. And now I'm going to join a D square to the right side. And the D square is this one. So I'm going to sew that there. And then we're going to press towards D. Okay, here we go. They love each other. I can't get them apart. Okay. Your tail's in the way, buddy. Jellybean, Mommy I can't see what I'm doing, bud. All right, hold on. Jellybean, you're messing up all the fabric, buddy. Oh, for goodness sakes. Oh, gosh. Okay, and I am pressing toward the solid square. Okay. Oh, Jellybean, look at what you did, buddy. There's like fabric everywhere. Okay, so Mommy's just gonna have to work with it. All right, so here's the piece that I just sewed. And hi, buddy. Hello. You're such a sweetheart. Okay, so I'm going to take the flying geese piece that I made, and I want to have, let me see, my C fabric is this, hi baby, is this one. So I want this one to be on the right, and I'm going to have my A and B flying geese on the left, and then I'm going to take this guy, and I'm going to put him on top as such. And now I'm sewing this together. Okay, so here we go. You should be able to nest this seam. Now nesting the seam is where you want the seams to kind of, you can feel it with your finger where they kind of butt up against each other and they nest, so they kind of go nice together. When I get up to this area where they are coming together, I do slow down. Can our sewing machines handle it? Of course. But what'll happen is sometimes your fabric may get bunched up somewhere, or it'll accidentally shift a little just because there's so much fabric there. I always slow down. It does not mean if you slow down in areas like that, you know, I don't know why, but people seem to think it's some sort of rite of passage. I don't think it means that you're a better quilter than anybody else, or somebody else is better than you because they go through it 100 miles an hour. I mean, honestly, I would prefer that my seams come together as nicely as possible, and that's how I feel that I get that result. So I slow down. You do whatever you would like. Okay, so once I've got those, now I want to press toward this section here. So I'm going to make sure that that part is to the top, and I will press that. Okay, so I've got this piece ready, and okay, so I'm going to put these to the side for just a moment while we move to the next step, and I'd get a drink of coffee. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I am going to sew a small triangle D to a small triangle A. And I'm making 2 of them. So I'm going to take my D fabric, which is this one. I have 2 left. So I'm going to put the D to the bottom right. And my A, I'm going to take 2 of those. And those are going to go to the top left. And I'm going to sew these together. Okay, and I'm going to press toward D. So I'm going to put my D fabric to the top so that I press toward D. Okay, so now there's my piece, and I'm going to sew an A square to the left side. And here are my A squares, so here we go. Okay, and now they want us to press toward the A square, so I'm going to put that on top. Okay, so now I am going to take this unit and I am going to press a D rectangle to the bottom, and that's these guys. So here we go. Okay, we are going to press toward the D rectangle as such. Okay, so now I've got this piece done, And now we're going to take this piece that we just sewed and we're going to attach it to the top of this piece, just like this. Okay, and then these 2 units will be our section 3A pieces. So this will be finished after we sew these together. Now, just to let you know, it just crossed my mind that I mentioned that my pieces never come out perfectly the correct size. So when I'm putting my pieces together, I do want to make sure that I am lining up my fabrics on the side that I'm going to be sewing, so in my seam allowance. However, I also want to take a look at how everything is lining up across the top and bottom, because you want to make sure, I mean, if you're a perfect piecer, then you don't have to worry about this. And worry is probably the wrong term, because I don't really worry about it. I want to make sure that I'm getting it as centered as possible, so that way whenever I do my pressing, it's going to run, along as it should, the best way it can. And again, like I said, when I'm putting all my pieces together, when I do this, I'm off. Like if my sections are off, they're off by like maybe 1/8 of an inch, maybe less, sometimes more, quite honestly. But as long as I get things lined up so that they're pretty much where they're supposed to be, my stuff always comes out looking just fine. So that's another thing I look at. I'm looking at where my seam is going to be sewn, and I'm also looking at how my edges are lining up elsewhere. Okay, so I just want to, you probably, maybe you're sitting and watching and saying, oh, why does she do that? So that's why I do it. I just want to make sure things are as lined up as possible. Okay, and it is asking us to press toward the longer piece. So I'm going to flip it this way and press it. Okay, so this is going to be my section 3A. And so I am going to put these aside, and now we're going to start on section 3B. All right, I'm gonna put that up there. Put my cheat sheet on top of it. And here we go. All right, so now I'm going to take because I'm making 2 of these units, I'm going to take 2 large triangle D. For those guys. And I'm going to take 4, because I'm making 2 units. So I'm going to take 4 of the small triangle A, and I'm going to sew them to the top left and top right. And here we go. Okay, and it is asking me to press toward A, which is this one. This little square. This little triangle. Okay. Hello, Scout. I've gotten Scout now. Go ask Daddy for snacks, buddy. Okay, so now I'm going to sew the small A triangle to the other side of my flying geese. You think you can help, buddy? Oh, he's giving me headbutts. Let's give him Mama headbutts. Yeah? Okay. You gotta keep scooching, buddy. Nobody can see anything. Keep scooching. Keep scooching that way. Okay. Good job, buddy. He's like sniffing my finger over on the wheel. You're such a little nutball, my little honey bunny. And now I will press. Okay, so I've got these done. And now I want to sew an A rectangle to the top And here they are. So let's get that done. Okay. We are being asked to press toward the A rectangle. So there we go. Okay, so I've got these ready and I'm going to put them aside for just a moment. Take a sip of coffee. Okay, so now I'm going to take my large D triangles. I need 2 of them. That's these guys. And I'm going to sew small C triangles to both sides. That's these. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 left. So here we go. Okay, and we are pressing towards the small C triangles. Okay, now we're going to sew the other side on. Okay, and again, I'm going to be pressing toward the small C triangle. Okay, so now I am going to set this aside for a moment. And now I'm going to take two large F triangles, which are these two. That's so pretty. And then I'm going to sew two A triangles to either side. And just like that. And here we go. Are you on fabric? You're not on fabric. Okay, you're good. You're good, buddy. Well, if I can get them to come apart, that's what we'll do. This fabric is gorgeous, you guys. Oh my goodness gracious, great balls of fire. I feel so blessed to have this. Okay. Okay, they want us to press toward A, so, like so. And now we're going to sew the other side. Okay, now I'm going to do that pressing. Okay, so now that I have all of these done, we are going to, they say they want us to rotate step 3 so that the F triangle points downward. And we're going to sew that to the top of step 1.2. which is this piece right here. So we're going to join this together. Let's do that first, and then we're going to press toward this bottom piece, okay? Now this particular one for me is really wonky. So I just do the best I can, and I'm still going to love it. I'm just going to tell you guys. This is something that's very Yvette. You know, I say this a lot whenever I'm teaching people, not everyone may like that I say it, but it's the absolute truth. None of us is Jesus. So we're not going to be able to have everything be super perfect all the time, and I just accept that. Okay, so now that I have sewed these pieces together, I am going to, like I said, press toward that bottom piece. So I'll flip this over this way and press. Okay, and now the final piece goes like this, right? This is F, it's facing down, okay. And then I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to rotate it so the arrow is pointing down as well. And this is my D, yes, this is my D. So I'm gonna sew this to the top of this piece, and then I'm going to press toward this piece here, okay. Okay, and I'm going to flip this over and press this way. Okay, so now this is my section 3B. These are ready. Again, this is my 3A, and that's ready. And let me show you how I keep my sections together, because once they're together, I want to mess around with them as little as possible. In fact, not at all. So I'm going to take them, I'm going to stack them, and then I do take my paperwork from that section and I put it on top. That way I know that's my section 3. Clue 3. Now, what I do is I have this very large Tula Pink project bag. I like this one for the clues for cotton cuts because it zips on 2 sides. So I can unzip this all the way down, and then I just take it and I put this inside, and it will pretty much lay flat because it is a large bag. And I can lay them completely flat. and it'll stay. Now I just keep this on a counter, and I stack them on top of each other so that they can all stay nice and flat on top. And that's it. That's what I do. But anyways, I like this big size because they'll fit in there, and I can lay them completely flat, which is my favorite part of it. I do have some plastic containers, the super satchels. I don't know if you guys have used those. I like those a lot too, but there are quite a few times when I'm making my blocks or the clues for cotton cuts, and they're too big, so I have to fold them. And it's not the end of the world, it's really not. But I discovered these bags, and I really, really like them because of how large they are, and I can lay everything out, and then they are protected inside the nylon bag. So anyway, just wanted to show this to you guys, and I will see you with the next clue. Have fun sewing.